Karelo Finnish Laika, a breed of hunting dogs distinguished by versatility. They can work on almost any animal and bird. It came from crossing Karelian, Alanits, and Finnish dogs. The smallest of the Laikas, the Karelian Finnish is very popular in the Nordic countries due to its small size and excellent working qualities. The dog is suitable for a city hunter, as it calmly adapts to life in an apartment. Highlights and interesting facts. Karelian-Finnish dogs are truly brave animals. They are devoid of a sense of fear and can protect the owner from any danger, fearlessly rushing at the opponent and stunning him with a ringing bark. This feature was bred in the dog thanks to the century-old development of hunting qualities. With these small huskies, even wild boars and bears were hunted. Karelian-Finnish Laikas in a flock are able to surround a large animal and keep it in a circle for a long time, barking and lunging until the owner kills the game. Karelo Finnish Laika have phenomenal health. They are strong muscular dogs that do not catch colds and generally tolerate cold well. Hot weather, on the contrary, negatively affects the well-being of dogs. That is why breeders recommend keeping Karelian-Finnish Laikas in outdoor enclosures, letting them go home only in cold or hot weather so that the dogs do not overheat. The name Karelo Finnish Laika speaks for itself. The dog is tied to two geographical areas at once. The breed was formed for a long time on the territory of Karelia, but it was documented in Finland. Karelo Finnish Laika is one of the loudest and noisiest dog breeds in the world. This is its most important purpose as a hunter. Ringing barking disorients the animals and makes them panic. For this dog is valued by hunters. Championships among dogs of this breed in Finland have their own category, kind of the barkers. At the end of the examination of the dogs, they are allowed to bark enough to determine the loudest dog. It was at such a championship that it was found out that the Finnish Spitz can bark up to 160 times per minute. It should be noted that Karelo Finnish Laika is an offspring of the old Karelian Laika, which was famous for its hearing and instinct, was an excellent bear cub. The old Karelian husky was surpassed only by the Zuryansky husky in these qualities. Karelian Laika is bred on the territory of the Russian Federation. Many note that the Karelian Laika and the Finnish Spitz are different dogs in terms of working qualities. The fact of metization is not disputed by anyone. Crossbreeding is a technique that is used in almost any breed, which does not give reason to stop breeding the breed in itself. As of June 2009, the Karelo Finnish Laika breed is not registered with the RKF. Finnish Spitz are bred under this name. The history of the breed. Bred by crossing Karelian and Alanits commercial hunting dogs with Finnish. In the USSR, Karelian-Finnish Laikas actively crossed with Finnish Spitz, and purebred Finnish Spitz imported for breeding from Finland were registered as Karelian-Finnish Laikas. As a result, by 1984 a large number of mestizo livestock had formed, which gave Finnish Spitz breeders reason to talk about the inexpediency of breeding the Karelian Laika in itself. On January 11, 1984, at a meeting of the Bureau of the subsection of the Laika lovers under the board of the Leningrad Society of Hunters and Fishermen, by a majority of votes, it was decided to combine the two breeds under the Finnish Spitz brand. Due to the presence of two countries in the name, the red husky has always been under the scrutiny of Finnish cynologists. The result of such interest was signed on July 5, 2006 by the president of the RKF and the chairman of the Finnish Kennel Club, the agreement on the unification of the Karelian-Finnish Laika and the Finnish Spitz into one breed corresponding to the breed standard Finnish Spitz number according to FCI 49. In accordance with the agreement, these dogs have the right to participate in national and international exhibitions, tests and trials as Finnish Spitz. Appearance. Karelo Finnish Laika has a bright memorable exterior. The head is triangular in shape with a wide rounded occiput and a wedge-shaped muzzle. The forehead is longer than the muzzle, which ends in a slightly rounded nose. Superciliary arches are well expressed, which makes the dogs look expressive. The lips of the Karelian-Finnish Laika are thin, tightly compressed, the teeth are completely hidden. The nose is small, black, with a dense lobe. The eyes are oval in shape, and the inner corners are slightly beveled towards the bridge of the nose. The eyelids are close to the eyes, which makes the dog resistant to many eye diseases. Eye color can vary from dark brown to beige. The ears of the Finnish Spitz are erect with dense cartilage. They are in the form of pointed triangles, but neither large nor excessively long, but in proportion to the head. The edges of the ears are sharp, the structure of the ears themselves are elastic and flexible, but not soft. The torso is square in shape, the legs are slightly longer than necessary in proportion. The dog has a strong and long neck, a straight developed back and high withers. The transition to the croup is smooth, without sharp lines. The legs are strong, set strictly parallel to each other, which makes the dog stable. The joints are tight, the muscles are dry. The landing of the hind legs is slightly wider than the forelegs, which allows the dog to push off the ground for wide jumps. The tail is wrapped to the back in a roll, tightly in contact with the croup. Especially in puppyhood, these dogs resemble foxes. The height of an adult male can reach 50 centimeters and an adult female grows up to 47 centimeters. Distinctive character traits. Cheerful dog. A good hunter and a true friend for any hunter. It hunts wild boars and other ungulates well. Rare, with an interesting character dog. Karelo Finnish Laika are lively, energetic and cheerful dogs. They are good companions who show devotion to the owner and the whole family. With a family, these animals are very kind and affectionate, but they show maximum caution to strangers, even mistrust. Karelo Finnish Laika are not aggressive, so they get along well with children and play with them with interest. We must not forget, the Karelian-Finnish Laikas are, first of all, born hunters, and the hunting qualities in these dogs have been formed for centuries. Therefore, the Finnish Spitz will perceive all small animals exclusively as prey. Karelian-Finnish Laikas need strict training and good education, which is important to start from early childhood. Socialization is an important part in maturing this dog. If the animal does not communicate enough with other pets, then the dog may grow up aggressive, uncontrollable or overly shy. Every day it is worth training Karelo Finnish Laika, fixing the rules of behavior. Karelian-Finnish Laikas need a firm hand. A condescending attitude towards training can lead to the fact that the dog will see himself as the leader and the family as his pack. Then she can even show aggression towards people, which is unacceptable for any dogs. Pros and cons of Karelian-Finnish Laikas. Benefits of the breed. Karelian-Finnish Laikas have a stable psyche. They are not so easy to get rid of. Adult dogs do not succumb to fear and do not fall into sudden aggression. The character of an adult Karelo Finnish Laika is unchanged and is clearly visible to the owner. Karelian-Finnish Laikas do not require much care and serious financial costs for maintenance. This is one of the most undemanding dog breeds in the world. For example, they can be kept in an outdoor enclosure, and this option is even more preferable for this breed. Finnish Spitz live long. On average, life expectancy is 15 years, but with good care and moderate physical exertion, they live up to 20 years. Dogs of this breed have many purposes. For example, they can be excellent watchmen, since their loud barking alerts them to the approach of strangers to a protected area. Until now, Karelo Finnish Laika is used by hunters. Also, Karelian-Finnish Laikas become companions for people who prefer an active lifestyle. Disadvantages of the breed. This is a stubborn dog breed. If the dog does not feel the firm hand of the owner, then he will refuse to carry out even familiar commands. These dogs love to take over people, so Karelian-Finnish Laikas require strict upbringing. Finnish Spitz run a lot and in general, spend a huge amount of energy, so they love to eat. It is important to properly balance the diet of these active dogs so as not to accidentally harm their body. These dogs are very active, so they are not suitable for families who prefer to spend time at home. They need physical activity, long runs and generally walks in nature. Maintenance and care. Karelian-Finnish Laikas are medium-sized dogs, which is why many people decide to keep this breed of dog at home. In fact, getting these dogs in an apartment is a big mistake. These dogs are very active and mobile, therefore they require keeping in a spacious aviary. In addition, the apartment can be too hot for them. The thick undercoat and warm fur make the dog feel great even in cold winters. It is worth putting an insulated booth in the aviary, and it is good to protect the space itself from the wind so that the dog does not overcool. Usually Karelian-Finnish Laikas bask collectively, clinging to each other with their bodies. If the dog is alone, then you should take care of how it will keep warm. However, the Karelo Finnish Laika puppy should only be kept at home. A fragile body is prone to colds and other diseases. Caring for thick hair is not difficult. Once a week, the dog needs to be combed out with a special fluff brush, and when shedding, it is better to comb it daily. You need to bathe the dog as it gets dirty, but not more than once every 4 months. The eyes, teeth, ears and claws of the dog are subject to special care. Every day they should be examined so as not to miss a possible disease or inflammatory process. In addition, although the dog has good immunity, it must be vaccinated and regularly examined by a veterinarian. Price and how to buy. Depending on the purpose of the purchase, the cost of the puppy will differ. Offspring without the possibility of exhibition and further breeding costs from $400. If there are plans for future puppies as parents, then the price increases by 2 to 3 times. Show-class puppies are even more expensive, and the price depends on the pedigree and what prizes were received by the parents of the puppies at various exhibitions. If you are looking for a show-class puppy, then you need to contact the breeders registered in the Unified International Register of Breeders, where there is a guarantee of pure blood. In this case, a contract of sale must be signed, where all the circumstances are prescribed in order to avoid misunderstandings. Buying a puppy in unreliable places is a huge risk of getting a dog similar to Karelian-Finnish Laika, but not being it. While the dog is small, it is difficult to understand how the puppy meets the requirements.